I am campaigning a lot. I'm doing tremendous amounts of taping here. We have commercials that are at a level I don't think that anybody's ever done before. Plus, in certain cases, I see many of you in the room where I'm speaking to you on phones, I'm speaking to radio, I'm speaking to television. Television's coming over here. Excuse me, what are we doing right now? She's not doing any news conference. You know why she's not doing it? Because she can't do a news conference. She doesn't know how to do a news conference. She's not smart enough to do a news conference.
She's not smart enough to do a news conference. Bro, you sounded like one of the dumbest people in that clip while you said that. I've got television. Television comes here. I've got radio. I talk to people on phones. You talk to people on phones? Ooh, what a genius you are. How does talking on phones work? Also, it sounds like you had trouble talking on a phone in your Elon Mustang the other day because I guess your dentures were out or wherever it was. That made you sound totally different because this comes from a man with a lisp. He had this crazy strong lisp you'd never had before, which was really weird, but talking on phones can be hard, I grant you that.
Excuse me, what are we doing right now?
I got lots of people coming here doing this. We have ads on the air.
We're at a level I don't think that anybody's ever done before.
Yes, it really is challenging to put ads on the air. That really proves how capable you are of running a country. In a moment, you're about to see Lawrence O'Donnell take down both Donald Trump and the media and his own network in an epic way for the way they unflinchingly and uncritically and without fact-checking showed Donald Trump's full hour-long press conference. You're going to see it, and you're going to like it. I'm Ben Gleib for Rebel HQ. My podcast Last Week on Earth with Ben Gleib is back. I cover everything that happened during the last week on Earth: news, politics, pop culture, trends, science, weird stories, all of it. Please subscribe. But now we go to see Lawrence O'Donnell in action.
It was 2016 all over again today. Donald Trump spoke at his home in Florida for over an hour, and all of the cable news networks, including this one, carried it live, just like they all did repeatedly in 2016.
Just a week after Trump was given the opportunity to do what he does best, ramble incoherently for an hour, he announced he'll be holding another press conference today, which is sure to be as lie-fueled as his first. Yet he criticizes Harris for not doing press conferences when he goes out there and lies on his press conference. Anybody can go out there and lie. Telling the hard truth is what's hard. And I don't disagree. I think Harris should be doing press conferences and at least an interview. And I get why she's not. She has the lead. She has momentum. She needs to just not screw it up. But it gives him a talking point to attack her with, and she is very smart, and she should just do interviews and should do one or many ASAP and a press conference as well. But okay. But all in all, his press conference, his first in quite a long time, was essentially a MAGA rally without the half-empty arena full of deeply misinformed, hypnotized, confused people. It did, however, earn Trump a ton of press, which of course he thrives on, and any campaign thrives on. As somebody who ran a campaign before, free press is golden, and Trump's the king at that because the media does not question him. They try to after sometimes, some networks, but it's too late at that point. The question is, how are they going to handle it moving forward? He was allowed to lie constantly, as much as he could physically squeeze into 1 hour. According to NPR, 162 lies in that press conference. Should we expect the same from him in this next press conference? Will there be any accountability? Will mainstream networks like CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News allow this to happen again, just like it did in 2016, over and over and over again? Well, of course, Fox News is going to, but you have to hope the other two do something to fact check in real time. Here's Lawrence O'Donnell.
Trump said, quote, Kamala Harris is not smart enough to do a news conference. The networks could have simply put on the side of the screen, Kamala Harris is a graduate of Howard University and University of California Hastings College of Law. Of course, Donald Trump proved once again today that he is not smart enough to do a news conference by saying something that was provably false in every response he gave to every single question.
And yes, I think that is exactly what they have to do. They need to either in text or with audio. On text, you can definitely put up fact checks during somebody's speech. You could even during the applause or any pauses during applause lines, reaction lines from the audience, you can quickly say that actually is not true. The real fact is that in this year, this happened. Take 6 seconds right during an applause gap, and then you let the person keep speaking. They could pop up in a little square to fact check the compulsive liar if you must have the ratings of showing him. At least don't do it to also the peril of our entire nation. But I mean, I guess you do you. But at least from the media doing this, we got to see Lawrence O'Donnell absolutely dunking on Trump for his continued hits on Kamala. Watch this Kendrick Lamar style diss. It's pretty brutal. At least part of it is. Part of it's a little weak. You'll see.
The stupidest person who has ever won a nomination for president stood there in front of those reporters and said his opponent isn't smart enough to do what he was failing at right in front of those reporters. And to make a bad news coverage situation worse, none of the networks, none of them, carried Kamala Harris's speech live after the Trump appearance. None of them.
So yeah, the back half of that was great. I mean, I love the way he hits Trump hard, brutalizes the man for his obvious insanity and low intelligence, but not the best example of a fact check. Just to be technical, just because you graduated from 2 colleges does not mean you can do a press conference. Those are not apples to apples comparisons. Doing a press conference is very challenging. It's a totally different skill set. Being media savvy has something to do with being book savvy and having a college degree, for the record. The rest of it, though, was very solid. But overall, Lawrence is right in his main point. This is 2016 all over again. The media certainly, except Fox News and Newsmax and all the ones that are in Trump's pocket, will need to do something different to save our country. It's their job not to get ratings first. Their job is to report facts. That's what the news does. You can't allow lies to be given live for an hour and then after everybody's tuned out, then try to correct some facts. That is not good enough. You have to do live fact checking or you have to not cover these things at all. Those are your only choices. Or you can go to it and the second the first lie happens, you cut away and explain what that lie was, and that would be 20 seconds into the press conference. Those are your choices. But regardless, whatever we do, we have to make sure we don't do what we did the first time against Trump. We got to do what we did a second time, which was take him seriously. So whatever you do at home, please register to vote. Go to vote.org or whenweallvote.org, Michelle Obama's organization. Check your registration. Make sure you haven't been kicked off the rolls. If you have been, re-register and go vote on election day or do mail-in voting in advance, whatever you do, and vote for whoever you want, but just please not Trump, okay? I'm Ben Gleib for Rebel HQ, host of the Last Week on Earth podcast. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your pods, and you'll see much more of me on the main show and right here on Rebel HQ.